Hi, my name is Danielle and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Rallybound. And in this tutorial, I'm going to go through the steps you would take to be able to add sponsors. Now, on the front page, which would look something like this, there are generally two areas where sponsors would be located. You would have a static sponsor page, which is generally up in the nav buttons, and then a sponsor widget that would be down on the bottom of the page. These structural changes could be different based off of the design set out in onboarding. If it doesn't look exactly like this, it might be similar. If you have questions because you don't have a sponsor page or a sponsor widget and you want one, then just please let us know and we'll be able to figure it out. With that being said, the two pages, I'm going to go into the back end and show you where this would be added. After logging into the admin panel, under Site Content, you would go to Sponsors. In this instance, the sponsors have already been created, but I'm going to walk through the process with you as if they had not. The first step is to add a sponsor level. Generally, sponsor levels are something like bronze, silver, and gold. Could be first, second, or third. They could be names based off of the design and discussions at your organization, something that speaks to the brand. Whatever it would be, you would add the sponsor level. If you only have one sponsor level, you can name it whatever you want. You could just say sponsors, or you could say supporters, and you could add all of the logos underneath that one level. But if you have different levels, then you would add them here. When you add the sponsor level, it will ask you the sponsor name and then the order number. The order number is going to be the placement of the sponsors on the page. 0 is going to be closest to the top. 1000 or anything on the opposite end of 0 is going to be near the bottom. So if you had 0 as your first level and your second level was 500, your third level was 1000, it would be placement in that specific order. You can choose the numbers however you want. Generally, it's good to leave spacing in between in case you want to add sponsors in between. You have enough flexibility to do so. Choosing whether or not the sponsor is active is going to indicate whether or not it's live on your site. So if you have a sponsor that has decided to pledge and they haven't truly committed, you could prepare, and then once you have the commitment, then you can make them active. If you had a sponsor that was active 1 year and is not going to be active the next year, you can make them inactive. And you can also choose whether or not the sponsor logo and the URL and the name is only going to show up on the sponsor page. Going back to the front page, you have the static sponsor page here, and then you also have the sponsor widget that's down below. If you only want them to show up on the sponsor page and maybe want to leave the sponsor widget highlighted for your larger sponsors, then you would select to only have them available on the sponsor page. Once the sponsor levels have been saved, then they would show up here under level name with the details related to the sponsor level. When you click on the sponsor level, when you select Edit, you will be able to make the changes that you had originally made, and you can also add sponsors. In this example, I created dummy sponsors of pink and purple. You would add sponsors here by selecting the name. You could enter details. You could enter a website that would link directly to for your sponsor based off of their image. You would upload your image here, and then you would select the order and whether or not it was active. Here's an example of what it looked like for pink, and here's an example of what it looked like for purple. So coming down, I will see for second, I have teal, and this is also active. It's not only showing on the sponsor page, and the third level I had was I did not want to use the image. It was not active and I only wanted it to show on the sponsor page. So let's see what this looks like. Here you can see the sponsors as they float through in the widget on the bottom right. I can access the sponsor page by clicking View All, or I can come up here to where it says Sponsors and I'll be able to see. Being that I did not choose to use the image for the third level, it only says colors, which was the name of my sponsor. As you can see, when I hover over any of the images, it is a hyperlink that would take me to their website. And that is how you would set up sponsors. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.